Dopamine, the addiction protocol. You're lying in bed scrolling through your phone. It's 2 a.m. You told yourself you'd check one notification, just one. But now you're 3 hours deep in a rabbit hole watching someone organize their spice rack. Your thumb keeps swiping. Your brain keeps wanting more. You know you should sleep, but you physically can't stop. Everyone thinks dopamine is the pleasure chemical, the happiness drug that makes you feel good. That's the lie your brain tells you. Dopamine isn't about pleasure. It's about wanting. It's the chemical that makes you chase, not the chemical that makes you satisfied. Every notification, every like triggers a tiny dopamine hit that says more, more, more. Social media companies know this. They've turned your dopamine system into their personal slot machine. Every scroll is a pull of the lever. Your dopamine receptors start dying. You need more stimulation to feel the same high. First, it's social media. Then it's shopping. Then it's substances. Then nothing works anymore. The terrifying part? Once your dopamine system is fried, everything else becomes boring. Food loses its taste. Music sounds flat. You become a ghost walking through your own life chasing chemical hits that get weaker every time. Serotonin, the happiness glitch. You have everything you're supposed to want. Good job, nice apartment, people who care about you. But when you wake up in the morning, the world feels gray. Not sad, not angry, just empty. Like someone drained all the color from your life and left you with a black and white movie that never ends. This is what happens when your serotonin system crashes. Serotonin is supposed to be your brain's happiness chemical. But here's what they don't tell you. Most of your serotonin isn't even made in your brain. 90% of it comes from your gut. That processed food you've been eating, those antibiotics you took last year, they're systematically destroying the bacteria that produce serotonin. Your brain keeps sending out requests for serotonin, but your gut can't deliver. It's like ordering food from a restaurant that burned down. Without serotonin, your thoughts turn dark. Sleep becomes impossible. You start making decisions you wouldn't normally make. The pharmaceutical industry has built an empire on this glitch. They give you pills that stop your brain from recycling the little serotonin you have left, but they never address why you're not making enough in the first place. Cortisol, the stress virus. Your heart is racing and you don't know why. You checked your email, saw 17 new messages, and suddenly your chest feels tight. Your hands are shaking slightly. You tell yourself to relax, but your body won't listen. It's stuck in emergency mode, and cortisol is holding down the panic button. Cortisol is your body's alarm system, designed to flood your bloodstream when a lion is chasing you. It's supposed to give you superhuman strength for about 10 minutes, then disappear. But modern life has turned that 10-minute emergency response into a 24/7 marathon. Your brain can't tell the difference between a real threat and a notification. Here's what constant cortisol does to your brain. It shrinks your hippocampus, the part responsible for memory. It damages your prefrontal cortex, where rational thinking happens. It creates new neural pathways that make you more likely to panic. But the real horror isn't what cortisol does to your mind, it's what it does to your body. Chronic cortisol destroys your immune system and accelerates aging at a cellular level. People with chronically high cortisol don't just feel older, they literally are older. The question isn't whether stress will kill you. The question is how long you can survive before your cortisol-soaked brain decides it's had enough.
Noradrenaline, the fight or flight malware. You're sitting in traffic when someone cuts you off. Your vision sharpens, your muscles tense, your heart pounds like a war drum. The rational part of your brain knows it's just bad driving, but your body is preparing for battle. You grip the steering wheel tighter, ready to fight a Honda Civic. This is noradrenaline, and it can't tell the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and a rude commuter. Noradrenaline is your brain's emergency broadcast system. It's supposed to flood your system when death is imminent, giving you superhuman focus for exactly long enough to survive. But modern life keeps triggering false alarms. A work deadline feels like a predator hunt. A text from your ex feels like mortal danger. Your brain keeps hitting the panic button for situations that don't require it. Here's where it gets dangerous. Noradrenaline is addictive. Your brain starts craving the intensity, the razor-sharp focus it provides. You become a stress junkie, unconsciously seeking out conflict because normal life feels too dull. Road rage, picking fights, doom-scrolling news that makes you angry. You're not actually angry about politics, you're just chasing your next noradrenaline hit. But chronic noradrenaline rewires your brain. Your amygdala grows larger and more reactive. Your brain becomes hypervigilant, scanning for threats that don't exist. Eventually, everything feels dangerous. A knock at the door, a phone call, an email marked urgent. You become a prisoner in your own heightened nervous system. Oxytocin, the trust exploit. You're at a family gathering surrounded by people you've known your whole life, but you feel completely alone. Everyone's talking, laughing, sharing stories, but you might as well be watching them through glass. You smile, nod, play the part, but inside there's just emptiness, no connection, no warmth. This is what happens when your oxytocin system shuts down. Oxytocin is called the love hormone, the bonding chemical that makes you feel connected to other humans. It's released during physical touch, eye contact, shared experiences. It's what makes a mother bond with her baby, what makes couples feel close, what turns strangers into friends. But modern life is systematically destroying your ability to produce it. We spend more time staring at screens than looking into eyes. We text instead of hug. We live alone, work remotely, order everything online. Physical touch has become rare and awkward. Eye contact feels uncomfortable. We're more connected than ever, but more isolated than any generation in human history. Your oxytocin receptors are literally withering from lack of use. Without oxytocin, you become incapable of forming deep connections. Relationships feel shallow. Trust becomes impossible. You start seeing other people as threats instead of allies. Social anxiety skyrockets because your brain no longer recognizes the safety signals that human connection provides. You become a stranger in your own species. The answer isn't wrong with you. Your brain just forgot how to love. Endorphins, the natural high, crash. You finish a workout and feel incredible, euphoric almost, like you could run through walls or solve world peace. Everything seems possible. Your problems feel manageable. Life feels worth living. Then, 2 hours later, you crash harder than a Windows 95 computer. You feel worse than before you started. Welcome to the endorphin roller coaster. Endorphins are your body's natural morphine, designed to block pain during extreme situations. They're supposed to kick in when you're injured or in mortal danger, numbing the hurt so you can survive. But we've learned to hack this system. Exercise, spicy food, laughter, even stress can trigger endorphin release. It feels so good that people become addicted to the rush. Exercise addicts push their bodies to destruction chasing that endorphin high. They can't take rest days because withdrawal feels like depression. Their joints scream, their muscles break down, but they keep going because stopping means facing reality without chemical assistance. Some people become addicted to physical pain just to feel that sweet endorphin relief. But here's the cruel twist. Endorphins don't just block pain, they block all sensation. The more you rely on them, the more numb you become to regular human emotions. Joy feels muted. Love feels distant. Life loses its natural texture. You need increasingly extreme experiences just to feel anything at all. What started as natural pain relief becomes emotional anesthesia. You're not living life anymore, you're just managing the withdrawal between your next hit.
This damage might be permanent. And here's the most terrifying question of all. Once you know what's happening to your brain, can you actually stop it? Or is it already too late? Thanks for watching. Make sure to give the video a like and subscribe.